education policy also came in. So it's like everything came at the right time, Anshul. Our merger with Mahe, the national education policy, the new national credit framework, everything. These are a lot of people don't understand. These are path breaking in the education sector if properly utilized, and that is what we are doing. We are exploiting the NEP to the fullest.
Welcome to MBA Roundhouse podcast, where we engage in insightful conversations with world-class education and industry leaders. Join us as we explore their hard-won experiences in building and growing today's most successful business schools and businesses. Today, my guest is Dr. Aditya Mohan Jadhav. Dr. Aditya is Dean at TAPMI, Bangalore. In this conversation, we dig deep into how they identified the market demand for the BBA program. What factors contributed to the decision of starting BBA program at TAPMI? What is the differentiated offering in course structure and curriculum? How did they approach faculty recruitment? With that, I bring to you Professor Aditya Mohan Jadhav.
Yeah, Anshul.
Hi, Professor Aditya. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Anshul. Thanks for having me here.
This is our pleasure, sir. This is our pleasure.
Yeah.
So I'll straight away come to certain questions. These are very, very candid questions. With your experience, we wanted these insights from you. This, I'm sure, would be very, very helpful to the community.
Yes.
Right, sir. So my first question to you, sir, is what are the key factors that contributed to this decision of starting a BBA program at TAPMI?
Okay.
Please
so Anshul, as you know, we are an MBA school. TAPMI Management Institute is an MBA school, well-known MBA school in this country. We have been fairly around the top 20 B schools in the country, and we are in the top 10 private B schools in the country with a 40 years of legacy. So whenever we conducted interviews, we used to come across students who would have completed their BBA or a BCom, would have done fairly well in their entrance exams. That's why they would get shortlisted to TAPMI around 90 percentile and above. But we found them struggling in the interviews. That was one. We also found that the stress levels amongst the students was extremely high. Okay, because what would have happened is they were extremely desperate to get into a good B school because they strongly believed that the only way their careers can shape up is when they get into a good B school. Otherwise, they were always doubtful about their own careers. Okay, this is something that you don't see in engineers, but you see a lot in the other undergrad programs like BA, BSc, BCom, BBA especially. And that is where, we always felt that there was somewhere a big space which was not being served properly, and that is the undergrad space. That if someone is spending 3 or 4 years with you, especially 3 years with you, at the end of 3 years, if the person is graduating with a big question mark on his forehead, is what is going to happen to me, then what have you done in the 3 years? What is the contribution of the school for 3 years, right? And that was always a thought process that we would come back to. So when we merged with Mahe, and as you know, Manipal Academy of Higher Education is one of the top universities in this country. It is an institution of eminence. It is ranked amongst the top 6 this year's NIRF ranking. It is the 6th ranked university. Okay. And when Manipal Academy of Higher Education basically approached us, because we are also a Manipal group school, but autonomous. We are an autonomous Manipal group school, and Manipal Academy of Higher Education is also Manipal group university. So when Mahe approached us saying that, okay, shall we merge? Okay. It was a fantastic opportunity for everyone. So, Mahe as an institution of eminence has a lot of freedom, much higher freedom than what a traditional university would have. And they understood our value and recognized our autonomy when we merged. So that was the blessing in disguise. So, it was one of the best mergers that you can think of. And once we merged with the help of, because now we are part of Mahe, we could actually enter the undergrad space. And when we entered the undergrad space, we decided that, yes, we will cover up this lacuna that is there. So we designed the BBA honors program. We started it the other way around. So we were very clear. We went to the industry and we asked them, what is it that you would want in an undergrad graduate, right? If you want to give him really good hiring, good placements. And they actually came out with a few concepts based on their discussions. These discussions, we arrived at almost 12 competencies that we think the student should have, right? And our whole program is designed on these competencies. When we started designing courses and program based on these competencies, we understood that a 3 year is not enough to really deliver them to the way we want. So we went ahead and designed a 4 year program. That's why the BBA Honors is a 4 year program, which is focused on these competencies and with a clear-cut outcome of careers, okay, and not a stepping stone to an MBA. That is the whole idea. Means we are not saying that students should not do MBA. Actually, on the contrary, we are saying that yes, you should do MBA, but you complete the BBA Honors, work for around 4 or 5 years. Okay, understand which area of management you want to excel in. See, many students are right now taking MBA decisions based on not their experience, but suggestions and advice of others. Here we are saying you have an opportunity to experiment, because at the end of 4 years, you will get a job. 4 or 5 years, you work, okay, I'm really good in marketing. Now you're sure. Then find a B school which is really good in marketing and target it. And not only India, go abroad. Right now, with your experience, opportunities open up all over the place. That's how the program has been designed.
Very interesting, sir. Very interesting insights. Also, you said that you started this thing from the company, the organization side, not from the student side. You went to the industry and said, "What do you actually want?" And we'll design the program which suits you. Very interesting. So let's speak more about the curriculum, the course structure. You mentioned that it is a 4 year program. That is what you have started. What led to thinking about not a 3 year, but a 4 year would be a right decision for a student? Because historically, the graduate programs have been 3 years in the commerce space, BBA, BCom, all of them have been 3.
See, if you really ask me, and this is a very interesting discussion I had with some of the British professors when we were invited for a conference supported as British High Commission. So one of the key things, you see, Britain has this whole idea of a 3 years undergrad and a master's. Okay, internationally, everyone has a 4 year undergrad, and luckily for us, the national education policy also came in. So it's like everything came at the right time, Anshul. You know, our merger with Mahe, the national education policy, the new national credit framework, everything. These are a lot of people don't understand. These are path breaking in the education sector if properly utilized, and that is what we are doing. We are exploiting the NEP to the fullest. So national education policy now allows you to have a 4 year undergrad, okay, which was not happening before. And that is what we decided to adopt. So, like I told you, we went to the industry. Many of our alumni, we understood what exactly they would like to, what exactly are the skill sets that a student should have to join the company with a good career opportunity. We created these skill sets were converted into those 12 competencies. And when we started designing the program in 12 competencies, we knew it was basically a 4 years required. One of the most important competency that we have found out is strong foundations. Now, I'll tell you why we are saying strong foundation. A lot of time, what we found that, okay, the basics are, means people fast track the basics. You know, we try to cover the basics first because we want to teach something advanced or learn something advanced. Okay, but when your basics are not strong, the advanced concepts also are not proper. Okay, they can collapse. Your idea can collapse very easily if situations change, right? So you need to have a really strong foundations in management to really excel in the advanced aspects of management. That's basic, right? Any civil engineer will tell you if the foundation of building is not very strong, right? The taller building, the deeper the foundation. Very simple, right? And that's exactly what education also requires. So what we did was, we basically are agnostic of the background. You can be arts, commerce, science, any program, it doesn't matter. Any board, it doesn't matter. The first semester is a leveler. Okay. So we teach courses in such a manner that everyone comes at the same level at the end of first semester. The second semester, we discuss a lot of interesting skill sets like design thinking, scientific thinking, professional communication, and we really focus on the basics of accounting, economics, and maths, right? Because we believe they are very important for an MBA. So we teach it. Second and third year, what we have done is, whatever management concepts are generally covered in the first year of an MBA. And please remember, in MBA first year, many times it gets rushed. What we have done is we have taken the same level of concept, same depth of candidate body of knowledge, if we want to use the right word, and we are taking it at our own pace. So we are teaching that over 2 years. Okay. So some basics in the first year, some advanced aspects of the same topics in the second year, and we are taking it at our own speed over 2 years. Right? So we are ensuring the foundations are very strong. Parallelly, we have a student development program that runs across 2 years, where we are focusing on developing the students' soft skills. We are really focusing on design thinking as a skill set. Problem solving is a very important skill set for us. We are looking at design thinking as a very skill set. We are also developing a taste of, or rather, what inclusivity and diversity aspect means people should be able to appreciate diversity, okay, and tolerate differences. For that, we have variety of courses. For example, we have a course in language and literature, which is basically comparative literature. We discuss how literature evolved over time, especially Indian literature. So we are looking at the Bhakti movement. We are looking at something very interesting is the anti-caste movement that evolved, and so how literature has supported something like that. Then we have very interesting courses in the culture and context. We discuss Indian culture vis-a-vis Western culture and how it has evolved over time. We have a course on text and ideas, how an idea is framed, created. So some of these things run parallel to the core MBA management courses. So by the end of third year, our idea is the student should have a clear-cut idea of basics of management, very strong. In the fourth year, the student actually evolves into 4 tracks, multi-tracks. So there are 4 tracks that we have designed for developing careers. The first track is the research track. So people who want to pursue PhD after the 4 years, which the new national education policy allows, these guys actually get research training in the 4th year. At the end of 4th year, they are ready to actually enter the research field, and they would have worked on a research paper so that they have on hands experience of how to do research, and then they can apply for PhD. And I'm sure with this experience and with the research paper in hand, they would easily be able to crack any good PhD program across the globe. The second track is entrepreneurship track. So we are very clear, we are going to support entrepreneurship extensively, especially at the undergrad level. We are already in discussion with Miles. Miles is Manipal Center for Innovation, Leadership and Entrepreneurship, right? So they are designing programs which these students who are interested to do entrepreneurship can actually take up instead of courses that are being offered to us. Plus, we are also in discussion with the 2 incubation centers at Manipal. So these students will actually join the incubation center to work on their prototype or business idea. Right? That is what. So there is no cost involved for a student to experiment. And that's what we wanted to create. And as well as skill development. Then the third track is advanced specialization. So what we are saying is by the end year, they would have their management concepts are very strong, right? Now we introduce electives in the 4th year. And these electives are in basically 8 different streams. So we have electives into marketing, HR, finance, operations, IT, analytics, design, and strategy. So student can choose any of these streams, one stream, and specialize in that. So he would basically cover all the electives that he would have studied in an MBA second year. Our objective is very simple. By the end of 4th year, as far as body of knowledge is concerned, a student is as good as an MBA. He lacks experience, certainly. And that's why they will go join as management trainees, what generally fresh MBAs also join as. Okay. But here now you see they have more freedom to design, work on, because once they decide where they want to go, they can do an MBA. Otherwise, what happens? We see many MBAs will go and do especially tier 3 school MBAs, actually go and do another MBA after 2-3 years. Correct. Right? And by that time, they would have spent a huge amount of money. This is what we are trying to create. And the 4th track, as you know, we have just signed an MOU with Southampton University. Southampton is one of the world's top schools. It's in the top 100 B schools in the world. University of Southampton Business School is in the top 10 B schools of UK. Southampton is ranked at 78th across the globe in QS world rankings. Very well established. And our students at the end of 3 years can actually if they qualify, if they qualify, they will go and join there as for their masters in management program. Okay, I would like to take this opportunity to clarify to everyone, it is not MBA. Abroad, you cannot join an MBA program without work experience. So for freshers, the opportunity comes in Masters in Management program. So these students can join the Masters in Management program and specialize for 1 year, get a Masters in Management. So they get a Masters degree. We are accepting the credits and we are giving the BBA honors degree. So basically they get 2 degrees instead of 1. So these are the 4 career tracks we have designed. And then they work in UK.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, sir, to deliver such a comprehensive, exhaustive curriculum course, I think faculty would be the backbone to deliver all this curriculum.
Yes.
So, tell us more about the faculty recruitment for the BBA program. How you approach that? What criteria you set for the quality standards of the faculty? Speak a bit about that, please.
Yeah. So we have a very clear-cut understanding on what type of faculty. So we have 2 types of faculty that get recruited at TAPMI Bangalore, right? Especially for the BBA honors program. Okay, I will not talk of anything else. So the first set of faculty are basically PhDs. So we are very clear that we are only recruiting PhDs as far as full-time faculty are concerned. So these faculty are PhDs from the best schools. So I have faculty who have done PhDs from XLRI, NITK, IITs, IIT Chennai, IIT Madras. Okay, then I have faculties. I am Bangalore PhDs who have done faculty. So we have ensured that all the faculties, if they're joining TAPMI, they are from best P schools. Okay, and we are not recruiting anyone without a PhD in this track. Okay. The other approach towards recruitment is industry provision. So we have professors of practice and we are maintaining almost 50% weightage for both, right, as a school. So I have around 5 professors of practice. For example, one of them has just completed his, not just completed, sorry, he has just stepped down from his own company. So he is from MIT, USA. A PhD from MIT USA, has worked with IBM and many other companies, and US citizen actually, and has now decided to come back to India to give this country, and he has joined us as a faculty. We have another faculty who is basically in charge of, who has joined for marketing. He has been with Amul and many other telecom companies, first in retail and then in telecom for almost 25 years. Has now stepped down and has decided to contribute back to students and has joined as a professor of practice in marketing, sales and marketing. Then I have an IIT Madras PhD, but has set up his own company, currently working on his company in consulting and other areas, and also joining in the IT area. So he has an IT company and he's running his IT company. At the same time, he's also a professor of practice in IT for us, right? Then I have a very strong sociologist. She runs her own NGO and training centers, and she is a faculty for sociology at Bangalore. So we are setting up professors of practice extensively. So we have like this. So we have one track of professor of practice. We have one track for a PhD. So, but you are either of the two. Either you have a very high industry experience and hence you are joining TAPMI Bangalore, or you are a PhD from the top B school and really good in your subject and join TAPMI Bangalore. There is no other one.
Wonderful, wonderful. Speaking about the faculty, let me also touch on the subject of infrastructure.
Yeah.
Sir, how important is infrastructure and facilities to support such a program? How do you plan for such infrastructure? Is it really important or is it kind of a vanity metrics? How do you see it?
Okay, if you really ask me, I will be very candid to you. One of the people that I really follow, or I think one of the greatest educators that this country had, and we unfortunately lost him around 12 years back, is Shri N.J. Yashasvi, who is the founder of ICFI. Okay, so he was a great man, and we were lucky enough that in our founding years, we actually had an opportunity to work with him, and understand how education institutions get built. Okay, after all, he created a behemoth called ICFI, and at one point of time, ICFI actually could churn out around 10,000 MBAs in a year. Okay, and that was something at a time when India really required them. We are talking of 2003-4, and hence there was huge demand for good management skill set, and he was fulfilling it. Now, what NJSFC would always, or NJY as we fondly called him, would always tell us is, you see, the most important thing for a B school is the faculty. Okay, infrastructure is important, good infrastructure, but the infrastructure should be such that it should aid a student's learning. Infrastructure for infrastructure's sake is not the object. For this school, we have a really good infrastructure in place. So we have, we are part of MAHE now. So MAHE Bangalore, MAHE, Manipal Academy of Higher Education, Manipal, is setting up a branch campus in Bangalore. It's a 120-acre campus that is being set up. And it's with a slightly different thought process. So in MAHE Bangalore, it's integrated learning. Means what? We have 10 schools which are in the same area, not in the same building, but same area. Means each one's building is around, let's say, 30 to 40 meters away from us. So we have the Manipal Institute of Technology, which is the engineering college, TAPMI, which is the B school. We have the Shrishti School of Design, which is one of the best design schools in this country there. We have the liberal arts school, we have the law school, we have regenerative medicine, School of Regenerative Medicine, we have Miles there, and some other schools, right? School of Allied Health, and right. Now, what is happening here, the whole idea is, if, for example, if I have to if there is a course in management in any of these schools, my faculty will teach. Similarly, let's say I want to have a law course, I have to teach business law, a faculty from Manipal Law School will come and teach. If I have to teach an IT course, an engineering faculty is what we invite to teach. So this is the integrated learning that is generally happens abroad. Okay, and that is what we are creating. So in such a setup, we have our own building, we have a full-fledged setup. We have classrooms, we have galleried classrooms with smart boards and everything, which is aiming to learning. We are also setting up a financial analytics lab. Okay, so you see, we already have a very famous Bloomberg lab at Bangalore, at Manipal, sorry. TAPMI Manipal has a Bloomberg lab, and TAPMI and Manipal or Bangalore are the same institution. I'm sure I will use this opportunity to explain people. They are not two different institutions. We are the same institution. We only decided to start a campus in Bangalore because we wanted to, Bangalore is a happening place here. We have to be there. There is no other reason. We thought there is no better place we can impart undergrad education than Bangalore. You don't have to sell Bangalore to anyone. You don't have to explain why Bangalore. Okay, it's the startup capital of this country, and we wanted to be there. And there as well. So because we have already a Bloomberg lab there, we went and started a financial analytics lab, which is supported by S&P Capital IQ and mostly focused on Python. Okay, so we want to give that type of skill set to them. And then we also have a creativity lab. So it's an open space where we want the students to experiment, utilize it, discuss. Okay. And then we are setting up a supply chain lab. So there are the 3 labs as of now we have decided to have: a financial analytics lab, a supply chain lab, and a creativity lab.
Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. So let's speak a bit about the industry.
Yeah, and actually I would also say hostels are for all the girls are in the campus and are available. For boys, we are setting up a hostel which is not in the academic campus. In Bangalore, generally you see the hostels are slightly away. Our hostels are not that slightly away. It's walking distance, around half a kilometer walking distance from the campus. That's
perfect. Wonderful, wonderful. So let's speak a bit about the industry connects and the partnerships. So I really believe that having a strong industry connect is very, very important for a practical exposure, for internships for the BBA students. What are your views? What are your thoughts? What are you doing in that area?
There is no doubt, Anshul, you have hit the nail. Management is a practical course. You can't study it from a textbook. If you read a textbook and you think you will know management, then I don't need this school. I can close this school. and I can go and start writing a textbook. No, what management requires is basically hands-on training. And we are lucky on that front because ultimately we are TAPMI. We have almost 300 odd recruiters who are engaging us at the internship and final placements at Manipal. Okay. And we are already extending all our BBA information with all of them. We are sharing with them our ideas and all. Many of them were a part of this process of finalizing the program, and many of I'm very happy to tell you, Anshul, that it has been accepted very positively.
Very nice.
Right? They are very positive in accepting it. They're saying, yes, this is something very interesting and we would like to engage. What we have also done is we have multiple internships where the students will engage with the corporates, and we also have live projects. Okay. And that's the whole crux of this. So with live projects, multiple internships, we have, and Bangalore being like a central place, connectivity is very high. We have plans of industry practitioners coming every Saturday to engage with the students. We are hosting in partnership with Southampton on the last week of after last Saturday, Sunday of October, a global leadership summit wherein we intend to bring in CEOs and CXOs across the globe. Okay, and interact with the CEOs in India, and as well as we are also going to invite many young professionals, and these CEOs will hold a master class for them. So there is a 2-day very interesting program that is being designed currently between us and Southampton, and that will be roll out. So industry connect, and then the best part of it, you see, we have 7,400 alumni. Okay, in various stages. And when you have such a strong alumni pool, you don't have to worry. So we have something very interesting to ensure that students understand, called as an alumni mentorship program. So from the second year onwards, each student is given an alumni mentor. Okay. So, and that mentor will remain with the student till he graduates. And we also don't load the alumni with another student. So as long as the student is there, so it is basically one-to-one connect till the student graduates. And I'm sure over that time, the student is going to make a very good friend for life. Right? So this alumni mentor we have created to ensure that real-time information about the industry trends, what actually is the industry expectations, changing industry expectations, and a guidance to the student on how to plan his career is possible. So anyway, we are there. Many parents are there. Okay. Industry professionals will also come, but there will also be an alumni mentor for every student. So that's why I'm not worried about industry connect or industry professional. It will work. TAPMI has a lot of goodwill in the industry for that to work. I'll not use the brand because I'm not a big believer in the concept of brand, but I'm certainly a big believer in the concept of goodwill.
Correct. Trust, honesty, goodwill, that will pay for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Sir. Absolutely. So let's speak from the student angle now.
Yeah.
So every school, whenever we start a new program, new school, it is always a bit of a challenge. So what strategies did you implement to attract the right set of students for the program, considering the huge competition from the other B schools, other BBA schools? What exactly did you do there?
I told them the truth. Actually, I'll be very frank. I told them why we started this program. I told them what is my vision for the program. And I have told them, see, for example, now we have rolled out a few offers. Okay. And I have told everyone, and Mahi is very supportive on that front, that please come, check everything out, interact with us, interact with my current students. Okay. And if you believe that, okay, what we are saying is not possible, withdraw. I will support it. I have never stopped anyone if he is withdrawing. Okay. I will never do that. If your heart is not in my program, then please, you are making a big mistake by joining it. Okay. Because I will tell you very clearly, Anshul, when I went to industry and I said, I am ready to give you such candidates who are as good as an MBA, and don't go to tier 3 schools and pick up MBAs for roles which do not require an MBA. I am ready to replace them with my good candidates who will be more sticky, more interesting, and more adaptable and more flexible. The industry has actually taken it in a positive manner. Now, when the industry takes it in a positive manner, you are now going back and can I go back and tell the students or things are okay? No. I have to ensure that the students reach to the level what I have promised to the industry. So this program is fairly tough. It has a very steep learning curve. People stumble. Students who have never in their lifetime failed, okay, or never have less than 90 marks in their whole lifetime, suddenly find that okay, getting even a first class is very difficult, right? Because the learning curve is steep and the understanding requires a lot of efforts. And at that point of time, we are very supportive of them, and we are also, so if someone says no, this is not for me, I want to go, we are okay with it. But at the same time, we don't want students to lose years. So we are asking the students, you want to withdraw? If you don't believe what I'm saying or you think this is not working out for you, we are supportive of them as much as possible. So that is what we have done. I have told the students what is the situation on the ground, and I have respected the decision that the parents and the students have taken.
Let me add my bit here, sir. I attended one of your webinars very recently, and I was pleasantly surprised to see the level of transparency which you were exhibiting in the webinar. You said, see, students, this is my phone number. Reach out to me whenever you have any questions. One of the
Yeah,
very few leaders which I have seen doing this.
no, because I see more than this, Anshul, I will be very frank, more than the students, it is the parents that we have a lot of respect for. We understand parents make a lot of sacrifice to put their students through a program. And today, if you don't know, for example, there is a parent who has reached out to me and said, I don't believe my son is in a position to actually benefit out of your program. So he has turned around and asked me, said, should I continue in this program or not? And this is, and we are actually in discussion. And if the parent believes that no, the kid is not benefiting, I would respect the parent's wish and allow the students to go. Okay, if he stays back, I'm going to make money, but that's not the objective. Even at TAPMI, we are very particular on this. We give the parents as much respect as possible, right? We are very strict with the students. I'll be very frank, Anshul, because see, understand, it's not the students, it's the parents who have put faith in us and send the kids, okay? And they expect their kids to come out with some level of some career in hand, some success as a success story. Okay, success doesn't come easy. You have to take efforts. So I will be very frank, I'm using this platform to tell the students, we are not draconian. Okay, we have very few rules actually, Anshul, but we implement those rules. We have not created a rule book which is for the sake of it, but never implemented or implemented selectively. No, we have simple 5 rules, Anshul. I am telling you, 5 rules is what the school runs on, right? Come on time. Okay, if your class is starting at 10, please be there by 9:55. Don't be at 10:01 or 10:001. No, 10 is 10, so you have to be before. Okay, you come late, you're not allowed inside. You have to plan. That's the only way we can say, come on time. Second, we have a 75% attendance criteria. 10 to 25% you can take leaves, okay, for medical reasons, any reasons, though we will not appreciate you taking leaves. But yes, we understand the situations may not work out anyway. But 75% is 75%, okay? 74.99 doesn't make 75%. Okay, so even if your 74.99% is your attendance, no, you are basically not sitting for the exam. And we very simply implement it. So students are told about it. And now I'm telling you right now, and I know you will put it out, right? Yeah. That is no ragging. I will not tolerate any bullying or ragging under any condition. You can't do it. Okay, there is no question on that. Okay, you have to respect your peers. You cannot disrespect people. That's simply not accepted for any reason. You have to show respect to your peers, to your seniors, to your juniors, everyone, right? And no physical fights in the classroom. Think of it, Anshul, these are the 5 rules. Even on the dress code, we are very simple. We don't have a dress code, this, that, and we are basically saying, look decent. Okay, right? There is no wrong, there is no harm in looking smart here. What's the harm? What's wrong? Why can't you look smart? Okay, there is no restriction on jeans. There is no restriction on, right? You can wear t-shirts as long as they have sleeves. Half sleeves are also okay. You wear jeans. You don't wear bathroom slippers to a class. You are a B school. Thoda, little. You wear closed shoes. I have no problem. You wear sneakers. And you are a kid. I accept it. You are a kid. You are going to come as a kid. I am not going to make you forcefully into a suit and a tie which you cannot wear. But if you come to the class, the faculty should not feel, or anyone interested you should not feel, hey, this guy sleeping pajamas mein aa gaya. Am I serious about it? Is he serious? It should look pleasant. The class should be pleasant. Simple things. This is how we run the school.
Very interesting, sir. Very simple philosophy and very, very interesting. I really appreciate that. Wonderful. So let me come down to my last 2, 3 questions which I have for you. So
Yeah.
one, I would sure like to understand what are the challenges you are going through right now? What are the challenges of a B school in the initial days, though TAPMI is not in the initial days, but from the BBA perspective we speak, what are your
Yeah.
challenges right now? How are you overcoming them?
See, I agree. See, the biggest challenge right now, if you really ask me, is we are trying to experiment with a new model. Okay. Uh, which is, see, India right now, for example, the MBA degree is extremely in demand. Okay, people are mad about doing an MBA. Okay, so somewhere, somehow, people believe that MBA is the panacea for all problems. Okay, and so going to such a cohort and saying that, okay, don't run behind an MBA. Okay, this UG itself is good enough to give you a career, is a lot of people are skeptical about it, and they are right to be skeptical about it. I will never say that they are wrong. Ultimately, after all, they are investing such a huge, and they are investing their child's career, so they are skeptical about it. And so it takes a little more efforts to convince people that, okay, their choice may not be a wrong choice. That's why we are giving them multiple options to exit as well. They want to go, want to take some look, they want to withdraw, we are okay with it. So this is the biggest challenge, and this challenge will continue for 2 more years, Sanshul. I know for sure, because till we finish our get our first batch graduated. When the first batch graduates and they will get placed, and I'm sure they will do very well, because I know the students and they're brilliant. Actually, I'm telling you, it's much more fun engaging with these young minds than, sorry to say, engaging with the professionals who come to do MBA. Okay, these young minds are so open, so creative. Okay, they're ready to come out with very interesting solutions that you would not have thought of. Okay, so they take some time to understand, but once they understand, they will click it, they will do very well. And they're always open to experiment. They're not worried about what's next. Right. So that is what. So I have engaged with them. So I'm sure the 98 guys that currently have in my first year are going to rock once they come to the fourth year. Okay, and it is only the one batch till it graduates I have this problem. Once they graduate and they prove that the program works, I don't have to worry about it. That is the biggest challenge I have. Otherwise, I have no challenge. Mahe is a fantastic university. I'm telling you, I have our esteemed Vice Chancellor, Lieutenant General MD Venkatesh, our Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Madhu Viragwan, our registrar, Dr. Giridhar Kini, our registrar revelation, Dr. Vinod Thomas, so supportive of every activity to do, Anshul, and our chairman, Dr. Ranjan Pai, or rather, the group president of the My Trust, Dr. Ranjan Pai, who is looking after this whole thing, and our esteemed chancellor, Dr. Ramdas Pai. Okay, so supportive, Anshul, is they are not coming back and saying, oh, you want to do this, but it's going to cost. No. For example, at our BBA honors program, we are going to take these students in the semester 4 to Dubai for 1 week for an international immersion, which involves a cultural aspect as well as for them to understand how an global city, a global industry actually looks like. Okay, because Dubai is the global hub of Asia, right? And they were not worried. Okay, you want to spend so much money? They were like, yes, go ahead. What? How do you help? So they ensure that Manipal Dubai, which is a branch of Manipal Group, extends all possible support to us to make this successful. You will not find it anywhere. So I'm very, very lucky on that front. That's why we are daring to experiment like this.
Our best wishes, sir. We are very sure these students would have a wonderful career. It is just a year or so when they are
Thank you.
graduating, and they'll prove to the world.
Yeah.
So let me also ask that a lot of other MBA colleges, they also plan to start an BBA course. What advice would you like to give to other colleges considering starting a BBA program based on your experience, based on your learning?
Oh, I'm very happy actually you asked this question, and I'm very happy if anyone wants to have a discussion on this with me, I will be very happy to. I have no doubts. My request to everyone is right that any program in itself should have an end objective. Okay, it should not be incomplete. Means you can't have a BBA program which basically says you do my BBA and it will be easier for you to do MBA. No, every program that we want, I would advise everyone to have an end objective. Education is becoming costlier and sure we accept the fact. Okay, the reasons can be anywhere, but education is becoming costlier. So after all, a parent is spending a huge amount of money, a student is spending a huge amount of time with you. At the end of it, let them not go without any concrete support. If a student says, okay, I don't want to study further, he should still have a way to carve out his living well with dignity. And that is the objective of education. Right. And second, it should open up their minds. So that is what I'll tell you. I was discussing today morning with one of our registrars, and he gave a very simple example. I'm telling you. So one of the key things he said, "What is a graduate?" And there is a great Dr. Hebbar, and he had simply given an example. He said, "A graduate is someone who, after completing his education, if required, can pick up a textbook, study it on his own, and actually gain the knowledge to practice it without require anyone's help." Right, that is a graduate, he said. So that is what people become lifelong learning. Okay, a lot of people have this great name, we are lifelong learning, but how do you achieve it? By developing that skill set into a graduate. So that is what we should be able to do, so that he doesn't require to come back and do another program to make a career. That's the only thing I would say.
Very insightful discussion, Professor Aditya, and I'm so grateful we could make time today to speak to you.
Thank you, Anshul. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay.